Hello, and welcome to your walkthrough of the Pearson eText for the 12th edition of Who Am I in the Lives of Children? An Introduction to Early Childhood Education by Stephanie Feeney, Eva Moravchik, and Sherry Nolte. The whole child, or child-centered approach to early childhood education is the cornerstone of this text. In the 12th edition, the authors continue to affirm their commitment to a respectful, culturally sensitive, child-centered, and family-friendly approach to working with young children. Let's take a look at what's new to the 12th edition. This edition is aligned with NAUIC's most recent professional standards and competencies for early childhood educators. Each chapter lists the 2020 standards that are addressed by the content of the chapter. This encourages your students to become aware of the standards and of the ways that they apply to their learning. It also enables you to demonstrate how your course aligns with these standards. The 12th edition also features a focus on equity. In this edition, care has been taken to ensure that discussion is inclusive of a variety of perspectives and of issues affecting all people, particularly people of color, people from non-white, non-affluent backgrounds, those who have immigrated to the United States, people with disabilities, and people with non-traditional gender identities. An Including All Children feature has been added in some chapters. In addition, Chapter 3 includes revised discussion of the history of the field of early childhood education and contributions by non-white individuals. And in Chapter 6, the authors have added a new section on gender that discusses gender identity and strategies for promoting acceptance of diverse gender roles in the early childhood classroom. Many chapters in the 12th edition now include bulleted lists called In Practice that summarize ways teachers can put the chapter's content into practice in their classrooms. Now let's take a look at some of the integrated features and study tools that make the Pearson eText such a great resource for your students. Videos integrated right into the reading provide context or further clarification. Videos feature real classrooms, interviews with practitioners, and the perspectives of experts in the field. Let's take a look at an example. The caption reads, "In this video, a second grade teacher adapts a science activity to meet the needs of diverse learners. Try to identify some of the ways the teacher made sure that all children in the classroom had a meaningful learning experience." So the captions include questions or prompts to guide observation and reflection. The questions are great discussion starters in class or journal prompts.
Oh, this might be much easier. My toothpick broke.
Did I give you wet ones to listen?
The videos in the Pearson eText for Who Am I in the Lives of Children range from 30 seconds to 7 or 8 minutes in length, and they feature optional subtitles, closed captioning, and a downloadable transcript. So that video illustrated key chapter content in a real classroom. Here's an example of a video in which an expert in the field, in this case Sue Bradekamp, is speaking with an experienced teacher about her decision-making process.
In your program, you have children who have diagnosed special needs and or disabilities and children who are undiagnosed. And
Right.
So I just want to ask you about situations where it is a situation that's undiagnosed and how it occurs that a child might be identified as having a potential special need, and then what would follow up from that.
Another useful feature in the Pearson eText is the pop-up glossary. When you see a word or phrase that is in bold and blue, if you mouse over or click, a definition pops right up. It's also easy for your students to highlight and take notes as they're reading. They can highlight just by clicking and dragging the cursor. And notice they have their choice of colors. This is very helpful for students who like to color code their highlights. They can also add a new sticky note or create a new flashcard. Students can then access their notes and highlights by clicking on the notebook icon in the left navigation. Their personal notebook can be exported as a PDF for study and review. By clicking the study icon, students can also access the pre-made flashcard decks, one for each chapter, as well as any flashcards that they've made for themselves. Clicking the headphone icon brings your students to a complete audiobook of the text. And when you adopt the 12th edition of Who Am I in the Lives of Children, you have access to a learning management system compatible test bank. The test bank includes the type of tests and quizzes you'd expect, such as chapter test and learning outcome quizzes, but it also includes application exercises that refer your students back to specific videos or case studies in the text, and then ask them open-ended questions about applying what they've just read or seen to practice. After submitting their answers for you to grade, your students see a model response provided by one of the authors or a subject matter expert who developed the question. So they get immediate feedback on their answer, and you have a nice guideline for how to grade their responses. Thank you again for joining me for this walkthrough of the Pearson eText of Who Am I in the Lives of Children, an Introduction to Early Childhood Education 12th edition by Stephanie Feeney, Ava Moravchik, and Sherry Nolte. If you're ready to learn more, please visit us online at www.pearson.com or contact your local Pearson representative.